There is $41 left in your account. 6 days remain until your next paycheck. Right now, you are standing in the parking lot of a gas station just outside Dayton, Ohio, watching the numbers climb on the pump because you can only afford half a tank. That $41 is everything left from a paycheck of $2,450. You earn that much, and this is what remains. So ask yourself something. If your salary doubled tomorrow, would your life actually change? Or would you just find new ways to spend it and still end up standing at a gas pump doing math in your head? This video is about exactly that question and about one single afternoon that completely rewired the way you think about money. What you learn today might change your life too. If you have ever stared at your bank app wondering where an entire paycheck went in 4 days, stay until the end because the real problem is almost never where you think it is. You clock in at 10 p.m. The store is quiet except for the hum of the freezer aisle and the squeak of cartwheels on polished tile. You spend 8 hours restocking shelves nobody will thank you for filling, breaking down pallets, scanning barcodes until the numbers blur. By 6 a.m., your feet are dead weight, your back aches from bending into low shelves, and your eyes burn from lights that never turn off. You drive home in the gray, almost morning lights, and by the time you're in bed, the sun is already up and the world is starting its day just as yours is ending. You make $17.40 an hour. After taxes, after the little bit that comes out for health insurance you barely use because you can't afford the copays anyway, your paycheck lands and it's gone almost before it clears. You joke about it with your coworker sometimes. You say you're not working for a future, you're working for gas money and groceries. Everyone laughs, but nobody really thinks it's funny because it's true. Your apartment is a one-bedroom on the east side, the kind with a window unit that rattles louder than it cools and a landlord who takes 3 days to answer a text. Some weeks you skip the extra grocery run just to make sure you have gas to get to work. You've learned to stretch a rotisserie chicken across 4 dinners. Your phone starts buzzing the moment your direct deposit clears. Your friends are already planning something. You tell yourself you deserve it after the week you just had. You go without thinking twice. Drinks that are $14 each, an Uber there and back because parking downtown is a nightmare, a round of shots somebody insists on buying for the table, and somehow you end up covering half of it. New sneakers you didn't need, but you saw someone post them and told yourself you'd earn them. For a few hours, you feel important, successful, like everyone else at that table has it just as figured out as you do. If you actually sat down and added up one of those nights, it would come out to almost $180. That's nearly 8% of your entire monthly paycheck gone in a single Friday night. And you never once looked at it that way while it was happening. You never looked at it that way because nobody ever taught you to measure money in hours worked instead of dollars spent. A week later, reality shows back up. Your checking account is thin, your fridge is thinner, and you start quietly counting days again until the next deposit hits. And then it happens all over again. A couple of your friends always seem to have it more figured out than you. New iPhone every year, a leased SUV, closets full of things that make their lives look effortless online. You used to envy that quietly, wondering how they managed it on wages not that different from your own. What you don't fully understand yet is that looking comfortable and actually being comfortable are two completely different things. Most people around you are working just as hard to hide their struggles as you are to hide yours. That night, lying in bed before your shift, you stare at the ceiling and ask yourself why you work every single day and your life never seems to move forward. The next month plays out almost identically. Paycheck, going out, spending, empty account, waiting. Your life has turned into a loop that never breaks. You start to notice the pattern has a shape to it, almost like something you could graph. A spike right after payday, a steep drop, then a flat, empty line for the last several days before it starts over. You just never had a name for it before. Some people call it living paycheck to paycheck, but hearing the phrase out loud never quite prepares you for what it actually feels like to live inside it, month after month with no end in sight. One Tuesday afternoon at the register, a tow truck backs into the parking lot outside the store window. You watch a young guy about your age come sprinting out of the electronics aisle, keys in his hand, yelling that he's got the payment, he just needs one more day. The driver doesn't even look up from the clipboard. Your manager mutters that it's the third repo he's seen in that lot this month. The guy stands there afterward, just staring at the empty space where his car used to be, like his legs forgot how to walk anywhere. You go back to scanning items like nothing happened, but something about it won't let go of you. That could be your car. That could be you standing in an empty parking space with nowhere to be and no way to get there. You look down at your own name tag, then out at your own car parked in the far row, and one thought lodges itself somewhere you can't shake loose. What if you're one bad month away from that exact same spot? The thought follows you through the rest of your shift and sits in your chest the whole drive home, like something heavy you can't put down. For the first time, you realize something. It was never just your paycheck keeping you stuck. It was what you did with it after it landed. A few days later, an older man comes through your register every week like clockwork, always paying in exact cash, always calm, never in a hurry. This time, the store is slow, and you ask him, half joking, how he always seems to have exact change ready. He laughs and tells you it's not really about the change. It's about never spending money the moment it shows up. He says he learned a rule decades ago that he's never broken. Pay yourself first before a single bill touches your account, even if it's a small amount, and let it sit somewhere you can't easily reach it. He tells you if you'd set aside just $25 a week and left it alone to grow for 30 years, it could quietly turn into tens of thousands of dollars without you doing anything heroic at all. He says it so plainly, like it's the most obvious thing in the world, and it stays in your head the entire rest of your shift. You go home and actually write it down for the first time on the back of a receipt because you're afraid you'll forget it by morning. When your next paycheck lands, you don't go out. Your friends text asking where you are. You tell them you're staying in tonight. They laugh and ask what happened, whether someone finally made you boring. You laugh too and tell them no, you just don't want your future disappearing in one weekend anymore. That night, for the first time and longer than you can remember, you cook your own dinner. Nothing fancy, just rice, chicken, and vegetables from the discount bin, but enough. You start writing every expense down in a cheap spiral notebook. Rent, gas, groceries, savings. For the first time, your paycheck actually has a job to do. You split it into 4 categories in your head: needs, savings, a small amount for fun, and an emergency fund you promise yourself you will not touch no matter what. You start looking at money differently in almost every part of your life. You stop thinking in price tags and start thinking in hours. A $90 pair of sneakers isn't just $90 anymore. It's more than 5 hours on your feet under fluorescent lights breaking down pallets at 3 a.m. Once you start measuring purchases in hours of your own labor instead of numbers on a receipt, spending suddenly feels a lot more real and a lot harder to do carelessly. Days turn into weeks. The changes are small. Some mornings you want to sleep in instead of reading. Some Fridays you want to go out with your friends again like nothing changed. You almost buy a new gaming console once just because 2 of your coworkers got one. Then you picture that empty parking space outside the store and you quietly close the browser tab and walk away from it. There's a moment about 10 weeks in where you almost give up completely. Your phone gets stolen out of your bag on shift, and replacing it wipes out your entire emergency fund in one afternoon. For a moment, you feel exactly like you did before, like none of it was ever going to work anyway. But instead of quitting, you open the notebook again and start over from where you are, not from where you wish you were. That decision, more than any single dollar you saved, is the one that actually changes your life. There's another detail worth mentioning here. Around this time, you start noticing how much energy you used to spend just maintaining the appearance of doing fine, curating photos, timing your spending around what your friends would see, choosing restaurants based on how they look in the story rather than how much they cost. All of that effort simply disappears once you stop performing for an audience that was never really paying that close attention to you in the first place. Turns out, most people are far too busy worrying about their own image to spend much time studying yours. If you're still with me here, don't just feel sorry for yourself. Ask yourself, which one of these habits is actually keeping you from the life you want? And if this story is landing for you, go ahead and hit like and subscribe right now because sometimes one lesson is enough to change an entire decade. The next morning, you wake up before your alarm, not because you have to, but because you want to become someone different. You make your bed, eat something simple, and read 10 pages before your shift. You quietly repeat one phrase to yourself, one day at a time. At the store, nothing on the outside has changed. You're still restocking shelves at 3 a.m., still earning the same hourly wage, but something on the inside has shifted completely. While other workers scroll their phones on break, you open your notebook and write down ideas, side hustle ideas, savings targets, plans for the future. A coworker laughs and asks if writing in that notebook is going to make you rich. You smile and say no, but it might stop you from staying broke. You start paying more attention to your own habits, tracking where the money actually goes each week instead of guessing. It's uncomfortable at first, seeing the real numbers written down, but the discomfort fades fast once the plan starts to feel like yours, instead of something a stranger at a checkout counter told you. Every payday now follows the same pattern. Rent first, only what you actually need, cooking at home, a set amount saved automatically before you spend on anything else. At first, the savings look almost pointless. Some months it's barely enough to matter. But you remember what that old man said: never laugh at small savings, because one day they become big opportunities. Months turn into a year. For the first time in your life, you reach the end of the month with money still sitting in your account. You can't quite believe it. You're not smiling because you got rich. You're smiling because you finally took control of your own life. Your friends are still living the same way, celebrating every payday, borrowing before the next one arrives. One evening, they invite you out again, telling you that you've changed, that you never have fun anymore. You look at them and smile gently. You tell them you still have fun, but now you sleep peacefully because tomorrow's bills are already handled. Looking back, the 1 year mark feels less like an achievement and more like proof of a system that finally works. It's not that the money itself changed your mood, it's the quiet confidence of knowing that if something unexpected happened tomorrow, a slow month, a car repair, a medical bill, you wouldn't be standing at a gas pump counting dollars for half a tank again. That feeling is worth more than anything you could have bought with the money you used to spend. Now, let me pause here for a second because I want to hear from you before we keep going. If any part of this story feels close to your own life, hit like and subscribe right now. And drop a comment. Skip the generic comment and actually tell me the biggest takeaway you're walking away with, or one habit you're thinking about changing starting this week. Do you think the first week after payday decides your future? Or is it just about staying comfortable in the moment? Let me know in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you think. Years pass. You keep learning, reading about discipline, personal finance, small business. You keep waking up before your alarm, not because anyone forces you to anymore, but because it's simply become who you are. You work your shifts and spend your off hours learning. Slowly, you start a very small side business selling refurbished tools you find at estate sales and flip online. Nothing glamorous, nothing fast. Some months it makes almost nothing, but you don't quit because you remember exactly what your old life looked like. There are setbacks along the way too. One winter, a slow season nearly wipes the little business out entirely, and you have to go back to living exactly as tightly as you did when you first started. Instead of seeing it as failure, you treat it the same way you treated the day your phone got stolen years earlier. You adjust, you keep the notebook open, and you keep moving forward 1 week at a time. Your savings slowly become the down payment on a small duplex on the edge of town, the kind of place nobody else wanted to bid on. Years later, that duplex becomes your first rental property. The income from it helps you buy another, then another. You never rush and you never borrow money just to impress people. You build slowly, carefully, patiently. You still live simply. You still cook at home. You still plan every paycheck the same way you did on day one, in that notebook. Around this time, your younger cousin calls you out of nowhere. He just graduated, just got his first real paycheck, and he's already talking about financing a car he can't really afford. He asks you, almost as a joke, what your secret is, since you always seem to have your stuff together now. You tell him the truth. There was never one big breakthrough moment, just a lot of small, boring decisions repeated for a very long time, starting with a $25 a week habit you almost laughed off. He goes quiet on the phone for a second, then asks if you'll help him build a plan of his own. You tell him you'd be glad to, and for the first time in a long time, you feel like you're the one someone else is learning from. One afternoon, you drive past the same store parking lot where you once watched a stranger lose his car to a tow truck. You slow down, look at the lot for a second, and smile quietly. Not because you became famous, and not because you became the richest person in Dayton, but because you know exactly what it feels like to stand in that spot, and you know you'll never stand there again. A few years later, you finish building your own modest home just outside the city. The day you get the keys, you stand alone in the empty living room and remember every night you skipped dinner, every week your entire paycheck vanished in a weekend, every tear you hid because you thought your life would never change. You look around, close your eyes, and quietly say, "Thank you." Not long after, your grandmother comes to visit from out of state. She walks slowly through every room, running her hand along the walls, and starts crying. You get worried and ask what's wrong. Through her tears, she smiles and tells you that when you were younger, she used to lie awake worrying your paycheck would never be enough to give you a good life. She looks around one more time and says she was wrong. You hug her, and neither of you says anything else because sometimes love doesn't need words. Years later, people around town don't know you as the overnight stalker anymore. They know you as an honest small landlord, someone who understands exactly what it feels like to struggle. Whenever a tenant falls behind for a real reason, you never raise your voice because you still remember exactly how it feels to watch something you worked for get taken away in one afternoon. You never forget where you started. Looking back now, you realize the hardest part was never the math. Saving $25 a week isn't complicated. Cooking your own dinner isn't complicated. What was actually hard was sitting with the discomfort of staying home while everyone else went out, of driving the same car for one more year, of being the one person in the room who seemed a little different from everyone around you. The financial plan was simple. The emotional part of sticking with it was the real challenge, and it's the part nobody warned you about. A lot of people believe a small paycheck is the reason they can't build wealth. But sometimes the problem isn't the size of the paycheck, it's the absence of a plan. Your income was never the first thing that changed, your habits were. You stopped trying to look wealthy and started actually becoming financially secure. Wealth was never built in a single payday. It gets built one decision at a time, one saved dollar at a time, one habit at a time. Remember this. You do not need to earn six figures to start changing your future. You only need to become faithful with what you already have. Because a paycheck can feed you for a month, but wisdom can provide for a lifetime. So let me leave you with one last question. When your next paycheck lands, will it disappear or will it become the beginning of a different future? Tell me in the comments, what's one habit you're going to change starting today? If this story meant something to you, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and send it to someone who might need a little hope today. Your next paycheck could be the first break in the future you've been working toward. See you in the next video.